Everyone, and welcome to the Metropolis Classroom. Today we'll be talking about the 5th and maybe final season of Harley Quinn, but I can't swear or make sex jokes really in the first minute or so of a video, so how's everyone doing tonight? Harley Quinn, the show - the comedy has been running since 2019. A superhero sitcom with wacky storylines, great romances, and hilarious bane. The first season introduces us to this version of the DC universe, the second is the best one, the third brings in more of the Bat family, the fourth has Harley actually joined them, and has now reached its 5th and maybe final season. Fuck, there we go. Warner Brothers has not yet renewed Harley Quinn for a season 6, meaning that its future and the future of the parasitic worm that lives on Harley Quinn, Kite Man, is in question. I've already talked about the first 4 seasons of Harley Quinn and first season of Kite Man in their own videos, so go check those out if you want to catch up on the Harley Quinniverse before we talk about season 5. But first, a word from our sponsor. It's me YouTube, and me Patreon. Obviously like, subscribe, ring that bell, comment a declaration of fealty, but if you're interested in supporting me and the channel further, you can also be a member on the channel or join my Patreon. We have the door price for YouTube members for $2.99 a month, my Patreon, and casual lounge room. The door price is just a way to give your favorite panhandler a little extra if you feel so inclined. The Patreon is the same, but with all of the beautiful copywritten works and materials I can't put on YouTube, and some extra special videos for y'all occasionally, though I can't say how regularly yet. And on Casual Lounge Room, you can find pre-recorded live stream, the only one-man live stream that is pre-recorded. This week we were talking about Marvel Rivals, Tires Season 2, along with American Animals, a really neat crime movie with Evan Peters, and First Reformed, an A24 dark drama which focuses on the relationship between modern Christianity, potential environmental collapse, and martyrdom.
Okay, the orgy is definitely off.
But we're here to talk about Harley Quinn. The 4th season of Harley Quinn ends with the formation of the Gotham City Sirens, and the 5th season begins with the dissolving of the Gotham City Sirens. This is the kind of story decision that can really only be critiqued through the lens of hindsight, and unlike most people's, mine is at least 2020. If Harley Quinn Season 5 had gone on the same downward trajectory the show had been on from Seasons 3 into 4, this would be really disappointing. It would feel like the show just pissing an opportunity down its leg, but check my pants, no piss to be found. After the dissolving of the Sirens, Harley and Ivy have a year-long depression reel, while they try to figure out what to do next. So real. With Gotham going further down the perpetual shitter with insane costumed crime rates, poor city planning, and the endless primordial evil of Barbatos under the city, thank you Scott Snyder, Harley and Ivy have decided to move their roots, little plant pun for you there Ive, to Metropolis. It is really astounding how much a change of scenery can do for a sitcom if the writing is still at least somewhat as funny as it used to be. And Harley Quinn is more than somewhat as funny as it used to be. It's almost as funny as it used to be. Episode 2, Back to School, sees Harley and Ivy babysit King Shark's pups while Ivy has assorted flashbacks to her creating JB Smoove and a new villain in a lab.
What's up?
Jason Woodrue, the former professor of Pamela Isley and current plant corpse guy, has become Floronic Man. And in episode 3, Ivy and Harley have to overcome Ivy not telling Harley about her past and the evil plant corpse guy trying to murder them. But one of the most fun new elements of this season is the inclusion of the Daily Planet. It's the summer of Superman, baby. Clayface abducting Perry White after negative reviews of his one-man show starts his best season subplot since the second, and the episode ends with the introduction of the actual best character of the season,
Brainiac inspires humor.
Episode 4, Breaking Brainiac, isn't just the best episode of the season, it's the best episode of Harley Quinn they've had in a couple seasons. Brainiac has come to Earth to play City Skylines on Metropolis after Harley convinced Superman to go on a sabbatical. This version of Brainiac, Vril Dox, voiced by Stephen Fry, lived for thousands of years, collecting knowledge for his homeworld of Kolu, where his spousal unit and offspring reside. When Brainiac returns from his last mission, luckily getting Brainiac's famous shrinking ray, he is gonna need that, he finds that his planet has been razed, the only memory of his family being his wife's faceplate on the scorched ground. After realizing that Kolu's perfection rating of a measly 99% is clearly what doomed it, Brainiac roams the galaxy, first bottling the Kryptonian city of Kandor before deciding he would perfectly preserve all of the perfect places of the galaxy, after getting them to 100% perfection in the memory of Kolu. I want you to know that if you read Ezra Klein, and especially if you talk about reading Ezra Klein, this is how I see you, and I hate you, and so does everyone else. Episode 5, Big Pasta Dinner, is probably the weakest one of the season, but also saying that makes me realize how much I really did enjoy this season, cause it's not bad at all. Harley, Ivy, along with their shark nephew, the Joker, and his daughter are all invited to a fancy dinner at Bruce Wayne's Metropolis penthouse. This episode was pretty fun. The dynamic between Damian and Bruce in the show is always really funny, and they use Red X, the fan-favorite Teen Titans villain, in a way I really like. The only thing I didn't like about this episode is that it doesn't have any of my bald beauties of the season in it, and the way that it wraps up. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens beat by beat, because I want you to watch it for yourself, and I don't want to do that. That seems boring. But it just gets way too close to the Titan Joker from the end of Arkham Asylum for my liking, though Bruce and the Joker almost having a friendship is actually really funny and fits in this series. I don't really have like a bit for this, but I did pay $4.99 for the express shipping. Episode 6, though, through the rest of the season and potentially show, is a little weaker than the first half, but handles the big climactic part of the season a lot better than the Harley Quinniverse normally does. Bottle My Heart sees our protagonists finally learn of Brainiac's plan to bottle the city, thanks to Lena Luthor. Basically Lex with boobs, Bruce Wayne's balls, and hair. If only I had hair. With the help of Bane as scriptwriter, of course, Team Harley is putting on Brainiac, the tragedy of the musical. Now, I have to admit, I am a little biased. I love musicals, movie musicals are my favorite, but I am also a Team Star Kid fan, or, as we call ourselves, guys who didn't like musicals. Musical episodes are some of my favorites in series, and now I know a lot of people like them singing episodes, but that's not what I mean. Give me an episode of our characters having to put together some sort of production. The Nightman Cometh, Work Hard or Die Tryin' Girls, Spider-Man 2, Too Many Spider-Men. I arguably support them more than real musicals that people perform less than a mile from my own home, and this one is no different. The play tells Vril Dox's backstory and literally sings his praises to warn the audience of Brainiac's plan for Metropolis. Which I don't really understand this idea. When I go and see a play or a musical, I know that it's not real because I'm seeing a play or musical. I don't leave and go, oh fuck, it's the Revolutionary War and everyone is rapping. Also, JB Smoove dies. Frank the Plant uses his funeral to resurrect into Frankette, the very weird and disturbing child of Poison Ivy and Frank the Plant, who was also Frank the Plant's mom. It's really best if you don't think about it. Plant sex is already so weird. Plant allergies are basically just getting physically sick from there being too much jizz in the air. The last few episodes see Team Harley attempt to stop Lena Luthor from destroying Metropolis with Brainiac's skull ship after she dumps Bruce Wayne. While DC is usually scared to portray Batman as anything less than a genius-level MMA automaton with a loving, even healthy relationship with each of his child soldiers, I really like seeing him as a needy, completely emotionally incompetent man-child. It's just different. And one thing the Quinniverse has always excelled at is guest stars, and Episode 8 has one of my favorites of this season. Helen Henry DeMarcus from Whitlock High in Toledo, Ohio has been uploaded into an advanced security bot, which has to fight Poison Ivy while Harley has to fight her dad. And the episode ends with one of my favorite things they've done narratively in any of these season finales or the run-up to. When Ivy, Harley, and Harley's mom, Sharon, return to Metropolis with Luthor in an attempt to stop Lena, they find that she's already bottled the city. This really reignited my interest in the plot, since normally the thing that the villains of these seasons want to do just doesn't happen. And the other part of the finale I actually really like is Superman. Kryptonian boy summer, baby, what can I say? Bruce knocks out all communication in the bottle city of Metropolis with a Bat EMP, so Lois has to use a Morse code device from the Daily Planet to contact Superman, with him coming back from deep space for a final save at the end of the season. Now, before I talk about the end of the season and maybe the end of the show, we're gonna do a new little thing where I just talk about little things I liked. It's called Little Bits, and I came up with it.
Little bits.
The use of the Dutch immersion school really makes me laugh. I love the idea that people would invest time into immersing themselves into a culture as useless as Dutch.
Little bits.
Speaking of, while I do think he's funnier in Kite Man than in this season, Bane babysitting Goldilocks is still great.
Little bits.
I love that Lex Luthor is bald at 7 years old and there's absolutely no effort made to explain it.
Little bits.
And I really do like the dialogue between Brainiac and his family. I just thought it was funny.
If you are excreting from your anatomy, this is perfectly normal and...
Repulsive!
Then what is the apprehension?
The season starts to wrap up after the defeat of Lena Luthor, with Brainiac realizing that sometimes in life, the mess is the point, which he repeats at least like 5 times before trying to jettison the Skull ship into the ruins of Kolu. Brainiac, realizing that Ivy, Harley, and Harley's mom, Sharon, aren't uploaded into the cloud for the post-death update, sends them with an escape pod, which is immediately Swiss cheese by an asteroid field. Smartest being in the universe, folks. And is saved by Superman from Lois's Morse message. The season ends with Harley and Ivy moving back to Gotham, with Metropolis being moved right across the river from the city now, and the rest of the perfected cities saved off of Brainiac's ship and just kinda sitting there in Harley and Ivy's apartment. Next season, I would really like to see Harley and Ivy traveling to each of these cities, maybe even working with Bruce Wayne and former Mayor Joker to restore them. If there is a next season, there's gotta be at least one bald Warner Brothers executive. I could pretend to be him. Harley Quinn, the show - the comedy has not yet been renewed for a 6th season. Would it be the worst thing in the world if this show didn't get renewed? No. I mean, come on, the Black Plague, the Holocaust, the Trail of Tears, it'd be hard for this to be the worst thing in the world, but I want more. I think this could be a perfectly fine place to leave the show, honestly. Comedies don't need to have as dramatic or final of finales as other series, so this wouldn't feel like a cheat, but I still would love to see more of this show. Harley and Ivy need to see the rest of the DC cities because I really liked their move to Metropolis. They could go party with the Rogues in Central City, go see the lesbians on Paradise Island, or hang out in the Emerald Ruins of Coast City. See the crying Hal Jordan. You know, I did have that bit about like, oh, I wish I had hair, but it's kind of crazy that I never came up with like what I'd consider a real joke for me purchasing this, and especially getting the express shipping. But what's not crazy is that Harley Quinn Season 5 is good, because this show is good, and you know, if this is where it ends, I'm okay with that, but I do want to see more. I want to see them go to other DC cities. But folks, that is the video for this week. Thank you so much for joining us as always. I will see you next time. A goodbye.
I can't pause toast?
You can pause toast.
If this toast goes back in that machine, it's gonna lose its essence.
Everyone, thank you so much for watching that video. If you made it to this point in the video, a double thank you so much. God, that was so hot under there. That was, oh my god, my forehead was so sweaty afterwards. But watch the show for my collection this week. Let's pull her off of there because I forgot to. Hey, happy Pride Month. This is a lesbian. So we have Batwoman Elegy. This is a great book, guys. Story by Greg Rucka, art by J.H. Williams III. Holy hell, this was so fun. I'm trying to cut down on swearing in these parts of the videos where, like, I really don't have to for, like, a bit or something. I mean, I never have to, because that's a sin. But, yeah, this is so good. So if you don't know anything about Batwoman, really, I'm not going to tell you a ton, because it's fun to, like, learn about this character. Kate Kane, no, the Kanes are related to the Waynes in some, like, weird way, so I don't want to say no relation, but, like, heavily unrelated, like, from Bruce and his story. And I really think that I have this right. DC's first openly lesbian character. So, very cool. This book is partially about that. It's also about her fighting the Cult of Crime, I think they're called. Very underutilized Batman villains that I liked a lot in this. Man, it's so good. Go pick it up. I'm not going to spoil anything else. Just absolutely go get Batwoman Elegy, DC Compact Comics. And that is the video for this week, y'all. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, I had like a burp stifling, or sometimes it's like my greatness coming back up. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.